welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and today I am here with my weekly WIP and Chat. And if you are new and aren't sure what that means, WIP stands for Work in Progress, and chat just means that we're going to spend some time together today, probably around an hour, catching up and chatting about diamond painting and life and the crafting community and all the things. So feel free to fill out a project to work alongside me. I am today going to be kitting up my next Drills and Chills project and thought that I could have you guys join me for that. If I get through this really quickly, if these drills are blissfully static free and I need to pull out a project to work on, that'll be easy enough to do. But we'll start with some kitting up and we'll see how it goes. So some people treat this like a podcast. You could just kind of have me on in the background while you're working, or if you want to be working on a project alongside me, just whatever works. It's just a chance for us to catch up each week. I do these every Monday morning is when they go up. There are some rare exceptions when life happens, but it's such a part of my routine at this point to kind of wind down my weekend on Sunday nights to sit down and catch up with you guys and talk about the last week, that it's pretty set in stone at this point. So the kit I'm going to be kitting up is from Make Market. It's one of their Halloween kits, and the name of it is just Witch Girl. And it's from, like I said, Make Market. And since this is an in-store product, even though I've seen a couple of people mention this and been like, oh, all Make Market's kits have these really generic names for the artwork. Is it, above board? And my response is that I am assuming yes, and I tend to be skeptical when it comes to licensing. I just, I think this is probably a case of an in-house artist or something like that, similar to like what Paint Gem uses or what Diamond Dots does, where some Diamond Dots stuff has artist names on it, some of it doesn't, and it's like a Shutterstock photo, or it's, I don't know, you guys, when it comes to something that's actually sold in a physical store, I feel pretty decently good that it's licensed and above board, but just for whatever reason it gets really generic names, but oh well. So this is from Make Market, this year's Halloween line. I did unbox this on my channel a little while back, and so if you're interested, I'll do my best to remember to have that linked below if you'd like to go and watch the unboxing. One of the reasons there's two big reasons I'm excited to work on this one. The main one is because this kit actually has square drills. I think it is one of the first kits from Make Market to have square drills. There's a couple in the Halloween collection that have squares. I don't know if any of their other like recent seasonal or kind of everyday collections have had squares, or if it's basically just started with the Halloween ones. But I know there are a lot of people saying that they would have loved to work on Make Market kits for the sake of, how budget friendly they are and stuff. But they only want to work on square drill kits, and Make Market didn't have that, and now they have squares. So I really wanted to test it out for that reason. And the other reason is because this gives me major Alphaba vibes. It just looks like Wicked to me. So, and the colors. I don't normally think of like these pretty pastels as being a Halloween color scheme. So I am just looking forward to kind of mixing it up that way. So it's not too big. It's like 40-ish by 50-ish, and it has a good amount of color blocking, it looks like. So, fingers crossed it's not going to be a super long-term project. Now, so we have our toolkit. I'm not thinking we need anything of that. Oops. I might salvage some parts of that toolkit for things like the single tip and stuff. The Make Market kits don't come with a separate sticker label or paper, legend or anything like that. So what I'm going to have to do is I have these, that paper is just like rolling fully off the table slowly. Okay, I have these sticker labels, and me and my complete lack of artist self is just going to reference this and draw the letter or symbol on here and then slap it on storage containers. So I feel like when I bumped this, I didn't actually move it back straight. I'm just going to adjust you again, and I feel like that's pretty close. So I'm going to keep this nearby because I'm going to have to reference the legend, and then we'll cut open the drills in just a bit. And then I did just get this storage case on Amazon. I have actually been meaning to try Art Dot storage for a long time. I have a video idea in mind for a couple of different potential things, and here's what happened is I was trying to get something else that I needed same day shipping, except on Amazon, and it was like, oh, you get free same day shipping if you get to a $25 threshold, and it was something that was only $12, but I really wanted it same day, and I was like, what else can I get? And I was like, oh, let me see if any of their storage containers qualify for same day shipping, and sure enough, this one did. So all credit to Art. They have some ones with really, really cute prints on them, but the only one in this size that was available for same day shipping was just this plain black one. But yeah, I would like to try this out. So I did buy that. Storage case. This is the medium set. I think they just call it the medium set. It has 60 jars in it, and if it comes with some other inclusions too, we'll take a look. But I'm pretty sure this is one they are just calling the medium storage set, 60 jars. There were like several different sizes available. There was one that was smaller, and there were a couple that were bigger. And I was thinking, okay, what kind of niche do I want to fill in what storage situations and solutions that I do have? And this, I'm hoping, like, I'm really optimistic that this is going to be a size point that I just don't have anywhere in my storage otherwise right now, where I'll be able to fit more colors than I can in something like a Harbor Freight, and it's less of a pain than like Cottage Mill Stop Box. And I think this will be good for like I hear my cat chirping in the background. He's probably trying to get a hold of our other cat. So let me see, he does that when she goes and hides from him, and he's like, holy cow, this came with a bunch of tools, including a giant tray. Okay, here's a funnel. I'm not going to use this. I actually think that these just create more static. I think funnels are kind of a pain. If you love it, I love it for you. No judgment. It's just not for me. What was the price point on this? Around $15, I think. I'm in the US. That was on Amazon. And then it comes with a straightener, some plastic tweezers. I think these are virtually useless. Does anyone like the ones that are just absolutely plastic and not like metal on the end? I don't get it. A bunch of a bunch of pens, each with a different multi-placer end. Some baggies, a couple of these green boats, and let me just throw that. A metric ton of pink wax. Jeez. And look, I could just use, those are tiny labels. Yeah, why not? Let's use the labels that came with it. Actually, yeah, why not? We'll try that. Oh my gosh, how many times am I going to bump that? I tried to situate you guys in such a way that you would be like, I don't know. I tried a slightly different angle, and apparently it's really close to my head. Yeah, most of this I'm not going to use, but you know what? If I'm a beginner diamond painter and I want to get a storage set, this could be a really excellent option, especially for the price point and everything. And to get all this stuff with it, I think that the best part about it as a beginner is going to be this tray. I should try out this tray sometime and see, just like a basic giant white plastic tray. I've tried a couple from Amazon like this before. I think this is where this is going to be the best thing about this toolkit upgrade if you're a beginner. So don't need any of that, but I am going to use these labels. Let's try these labels out. Okay. And then this is just a single layer. It's got this foam insert. Actually, it just pops out really easily. So if for some reason you didn't want the whole case here, I guess you could pop that out. I feel like I probably like the very, very last diamond painter on earth to be trying Art Dot storage containers. I feel like everyone has tried their storage containers already. And I didn't get to it. They did contact me at one point and asked if they could, like, if I wanted to be an affiliate and if they could send me a storage, which is very, very sweet of them and everything. But I just tend to, when it's something that's brand new to me, I don't know. If I can, I like to go ahead and try purchasing it myself. But that's, not to be ungrateful or anything like that. Okay, the nice thing is these are all in like legend order or DMC. Well, actually not. I shouldn't say DMC order. That is incorrect because there are no DMC codes on here. These are all in legend order, and so I'll just be able to move right through here relatively easily. Okay, so number 1, this is going to be the letter A. I'm going to see if I can fit the symbol, and then in the corner I'm just going to write like that legend number real tiny. At least this just uses all the letters of the alphabet. So the first 26 symbols, I at least know I'll be able to draw those. So how big are these? Okay, so I'm guessing, I don't know how many of these it'll take to fill one bag, but okay. So anyway, hello, how are you doing today? I hope that your week is off to a great start and that you had a nice weekend. You know what I'm gonna do? Just in case, let's put that in there. Look at that lack of static. Oh, that's beautiful. It fits like one bag exactly. So I think then I will just go ahead. I'm gonna roll the dice and not, well, yeah, what happens if I just decide not to label that one and just fill it up with the next bag? That's a bad idea. Let me label it. Okay. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope that you are staying well. And I am, like I said, it's Sunday evening. We had a pretty nice weekend, a pretty relaxing weekend. And I am looking forward to sitting down and kitting up this project with you guys. I finished up my first Drills and Chills kit this past week, which happened after I finished panel 7 of my cross-stitch conversion project. So then I was like, okay, let me go. I finished that panel. Before I start panel 8, the last panel of my cross-stitch conversion, I really want to finish at least my first Drills and Chills project. So I did. It only took me about a day. And it was really cute. It was a really cute little finish, and I like how it turned out. And then I thought, I went ahead and started panel 8 of my cross-stitch conversion. And then I thought, as I was sitting down to film tonight, that it would be great to sit down and kit this next project up with you guys. Also, I'm loosely thinking that I will work on 2 Drills and Chills projects each month, at least for September. And since we're here at the halfway point of September, it seems like it's the perfect time for me to go ahead and kit up this next project as well. So I do also want to work on a dragon kit this month. I am pretty sure that I'm going to be working on the Mini Dazzle set from Diamond Art Club. And I'll get to that one soon. I am very, very, very eager to finish my cross-stitch conversion project. I feel like I am on a mission, and you cannot deter me for love or money, because the end of that project is literally in sight. As I'm working on the last panel, I can see the end of it. I just broke 90% completion on the entire chart and have like 50,000-ish drills left to place, and actually less now. And so it's really, really exciting, the prospect of being done with that project. So if I'm being 100,000% honest with you, I was not as excited to start on this project because it feels like it's keeping me from something that is bringing me like a ton of joy and excitement right now. But I also want to be showing Drills and Chills the love it deserves. And I don't want to run out of time to work on these kits. And I mean, Drills and Chills is only 2 months. That cross-stitch conversion project can take its time. It's fine. But I think I can say that I'm going to finish it before the end of the year, knock on wood, barring something major coming up that would throw a wrench in that. I think there'll be really good things about working on this particular project. Like I said, I'm eager to try out these Make Market square drills. I've seen some people curious. They're like, I wonder if they have the same quirks as the Diamond Dot square drills, because I, along with some others, have a working theory that Make Market is just, I don't know if I'd say it's like, what's the official name for it? Like, it's basically Diamond Dots, but under a different name. Like, it's the store brand of them. I've kind of speculated that about other brands like Leisure Arts and stuff, and Camelot Dots. I think Camelot Dots actually blatantly says that their parent company is Diamond Dots on the packaging. But I'm curious. I'm curious to see if the square drills are the same, because there were some quirks on the one Diamond Dot square drill kit that I worked on, but that was a couple of years ago. It's possible they've updated and changed it, so I'm not going to get too far ahead of myself with that. But, and I like this one's kind of like Wicked. It has Wicked vibes. And also it's helping me kind of break up. I don't necessarily always want to be working on a kit from the same company, multiple kits in a row if I can help it. And I know that I want to do that. Diamond Art Club Dragon mini dazzles for my dragon kit this month. So I'm just like, I know I have my cross stitch conversion, but I would really love to keep other companies in the mix too, just so it stays fresh and keeps me with variety going and whatnot. So as far as, like I said, my conversion project, I have finished the 7th panel. I'm like a 6th of the way into the 8th panel, which is the last panel of that whole project. If you don't know what I'm talking about, by the way, which is totally fair, I will link to my cross-stitch conversion playlist below. You can go and take a look. I've done some various update videos over the years on that project. And the particular one that I'm working on right now, I started in summer of 2022. And so it's over 2 years in the making. And I am, going to finish it this year is my goal. So it's kind of a hyperfixation. While I don't have ADHD, it was part of my testing for when I was being assessed for my formal autism diagnosis. I was not diagnosed with ADHD. I still experience some of that hyperfocus, and it can be really hard to break away from that. And I'm feeling that hyperfocus on this conversion project so intensely, and I don't even know what I'm going to do with myself when it's done. It's going to feel surreal. And I can't wait. I am so excited. As far as other Drills and Chills projects I think I'm going to work on, I have a kit from Unimade I really, really want to work on this year. That'll probably be an October project. And then if my Drills and Chills project is done by October, then I'll have time to work on more than just, a couple of Drills and Chills kits if I want to. And I'm not sure. I ordered there's a fall mystery kit that Jada Gem Shop released. It's technically as part of a seasonal mystery she's doing for the Crafters Den Discord, which is the Discord server for Sophie at the Diamond Help Desk. Everyone's welcome. I'll have a link below. I've been, chatting about it a lot with regards to there's a Drills and Chills channel in there. So if you're participating in the event, you could join in on that if you want. We have 2 of the letter H. So let's do 2 labels for that one. So I have that one on the way from Jada Gem Shop, but I don't know for sure that I'm going to want to work on that one this year. I'll have to decide if I'm in the mood for a mystery. I think it's smaller in terms of size, and so I think it would be pretty manageable, but I just have to be in the right mood for it. We'll see. And then I have thought I would work on maybe Cozy Witch from Diamond Art Club, but I'm not sure. And Diamond Art Club did also post something. I think they changed their cover photo today, and it very strongly hinted that Halloween releases are coming, so that it's spooky season. So depending on what Diamond Art Club has coming out, I know some of them, but I'm on the fence of are any of these ones I might want to work on this year? We'll see. But decisions. I can't believe we're basically already a quarter of the way through the event. Week 2 videos went up, which my week 2 video included another guest appearance from my husband, Adam, and that was a lot of fun. And I have been it's made my heart smile to see all of the really kind and sweet responses, not just people entering for the prizes, because that was not actually one of the requirements to enter for the weekly prizes. You didn't have to say anything nice about my husband, but it was really, really sweet to see everyone be like, oh my gosh, you guys have such a fun dynamic. He's so fun, and this was fun to watch. He had a lot of fun with it. He's such a good sport. He had unboxed a kit on my channel a few years back. I think it was a Randall Spangler Dragon. And this one was a kit from Craftably, and it is a kit that obviously is no longer available because Craftably has closed their doors. I did get some questions about why did you decide to do this kit? Why did you show a kit that's no longer available? Completely fair response. And I'm really sorry for any frustration or disappointment that I caused, the quite simple answer to it is there are two things I wanted to fulfill with doing this unboxing. One, I wanted it to be a kit that technically qualified for drills and chills, so it was on theme for at least the event in that sense, even though it's not still available. And two, I wanted it to be a kit that I thought would be fun for Adam to unbox on camera, that there would be like fun things for him to like say and enjoy about it. I also had thought, well, last time he did a Diamond Art Club kit, wouldn't it be nice if it were a different company featured? And even though this one is closed, I still thought, I mean, come on, Mittens Destroyer of Worlds, what a fun name that is. And we have our little like void cat of our own, and I knew that he would enjoy unboxing that kit. So it's not deep or anything like that. It was technically on theme for the event, and it was one I thought would be really funny and fun to have Adam actually unbox. I guess the goal was really not even to like showcase the kit in a way. The goal was just to be like, oh, this is something that's different and fun, as opposed to just your standard. I mean, you can come to my channel anytime for an unboxing video. I do lots of them, but I wanted to make it, unique, for there to be like a novelty to it. So that being said, you could always check in destash groups. People are often destashing kits that are either discontinued and or the company has shut down. And so I would highly recommend groups. There's a ton of destash groups. There's like DAC Fans, which is any company with licensed artwork, not just Diamond Art Club. There's Slash Your DP Stash. There's a ton. I'm sure that if I didn't say the name of one, that doesn't mean that I'm like, don't go to this one. It just means that I have a really terrible memory, and there's a ton of them out there. So there's even Mercari and eBay. I've actually bought a Craftably kit or two from Mercari after Craftably closed. So it's, there are options out there, and I've seen Mittens Destroyer of Worlds pop up in one of those. So that's, always an option. But you know what this is something that I regularly wonder about, the idea of showing kits on my channel that, or talking about kits on my channel here that are from shops that have either closed or the kit themselves is discontinued. So for example, I had waffled for a while on whether or not to do, the post review I did this past week was on a kit from True Artist Diamond Painting. And while I can't say for sure that they're never going to eventually restock that image, I don't know that I've seen them restock that particular image since its initial run. And so hasn't been available for some time, and it's not currently available. And I thought for a while, I was like, do I want to do a video on this kit that, to my knowledge, is not available and may not ever be available again? And in the end, I thought, well, it's still helpful maybe for people that have this in their stash, or if you're like, oh, do I want to go look for this in a D-stash? Or if nothing else, it's just a little bit of more variety on my channel, I suppose. So I don't know, though. If you guys have opinions on that, as far as, would you prefer that I do or do not show kits on my channel that have been discontinued, whether it's just, even if the company is still open or if the company is closed? Would you like to see discontinued kits in some form, or would you rather not, because it's like not applicable to you? And you're not gonna hurt my feelings. I'm genuinely asking, and I'm happy to hear any thoughts on it. Because I want to take it into account. I can't promise that I can make everyone happy, but I'm certainly happy to hear your feedback. So I did try to at least make that video be hopefully a little bit more helpful, because I turned it into kind of a double review video where I didn't just review the True Artist Diamond Painting Kit, but I also talked about Diamond Art Club's new storage system and tried to be really just honest about that, as far as like what my thoughts were on it and how I felt about kind of the value of it and whatnot. So yeah, I was trying to find a way to make it work, and I hope it was helpful. Are there 2 bags of this color? Yes. Look at all this pink. Yes, please. Now, I mentioned that there are not DMC codes. There's not DMC codes written on the packaging or on the canvas. And to my knowledge, there's not like a universal DMC code list out there to go with any of these like numbers, because even the numbers that are printed on here, this goes with the canvas, like the number on the canvas, sort of the, I guess, unit number for the kit. It's not like, because this the same number is on every single packet regardless of the color, so that's not terribly helpful, but it's there. I have heard from a couple of people that they have been able to email Michael's. I don't know what email that is. I'll see if I'll see if I can find out. I'll see if I can find out and then update you when I do a post review on this video. But I have seen some people say that they've been able to get a hold of someone at Michael's that was able to give them, I don't know if it was a DMC conversion chart or what exactly it was, but they were able to get the DMC codes in some form for these drills, which is helpful for like if you want to save them, any extras after you're done, or I suppose if you were to run out of a color and you're trying to hunt down more. And I don't know if Michael's has a guarantee where they'd send you more if you ran out. I actually don't know that, but yeah, that's kind of my update and my knowledge on that. I'll try to get more info though. So yeah, drills and chills in general, I think has been going really well. We've been really pleasantly surprised in a really good way at the sheer amount of participation. It's exponentially, that's probably not the correct use of the word exponentially. It's a lot bigger than last year already. We've had, just week one had 2,000 entries, which I know I saw some people saying like, oh, there's no way I'm even going to win a prize. Why bother? And I know, you guys, we're trying. Lindsay and I are each giving away like 6 to 7 prizes a week on each of our channels. So hopefully that helps a little bit. I don't know how many grand prize entries we'll end up having, because that just depends on sort of how many people complete their projects. And I'll be very, very interested to see what that final number is, especially after we, eliminate any duplicates and verify everything. But I think I don't know. It's exciting. It's really cool to see how much this event has grown and whatnot over the past 6 years, and getting to be a part of it is really fun too. So, I went on a Hobby Lobby goose chase this past week, and of course, all credit to my dear friend Shay from Crafting with Shay. She had posted about how she had gone on a hunt at her local Hobby Lobbies. She lives in Texas and was on the hunt for holiday kits, and ended up tracking down the Diamond Art Club 2024 calendar, with an asterisk when I say that. And when she said that, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to go see what holiday kits Hobby Lobby has. I would love to get my hands on one of these calendars. Because I would love to, compare and just sort of see them in person. And if I decide I want one to use for next year, I'd like to get my hands on it. And I don't know how quickly they'll sell out. And that turned into another kind of hyper-focus moment where I was on a mission. I really was determined to try to find one. And so I went to 4 different Hobby Lobbies over the course of like 5 days. And each one was in some various state of putting out their Christmas stuff. Oh, some of them had a ton of Christmas decor out, but when I asked about Christmas diamond paintings, it was a lot of like, oh, we will be getting them in, but they're not in yet, and or we don't know when. And so I did look out at the 4th one, and I grabbed a calendar. I saw some other kits that they were going to be putting out, but it was just the same leisure arts ones that they had last year. So I was like, oh, well, that's not, I don't need those. It was actually the same 2 that I got and did last year, the little snowman latte and the reindeer one. So I was like, well, I'm not going to need either of those, but I'm curious if there's going to be anything else. And Shay shared some more on her channel. She had like a Hobby Lobby haul part 1 that you guys should definitely go and check out if you want to see some of the other holiday kits that at least her Hobby Lobby already had out. So I don't know if I'll try poking my head into some more Hobby Lobbies this week. I just have heard some rumors about things that may or may not be coming, and I am so intrigued. I would love to see and potentially find some. So I'll keep you guys posted. But I did the same day that I struck gold and I found Christmas stuff at Hobby Lobby, the as in like the 2025 Diamond Art Club diamond painting calendar. Then I went over to Michael's because someone in, I think it was the Diamond Art Club fans, the DAC fans Canada, or what, the licensed diamond painting fans Canada group. Someone had posted about how their Canadian Michael's had put out their Christmas stuff, and I thought, you know what? I have to go to this Trader Joe's anyway. How about I just hop across the street into this Michael's and see if they have their Christmas stuff out? And wouldn't you know, they did. And oh my gosh, so Halloween stuff is really fun, but I really, really love the selection that Michael's has of Christmas stuff compared to what they have for their Halloween stuff. So take a look. I know some people have said they found Christmas at their Michael's. Did I say Hobby Lobby earlier? Sorry. Some people have said that it's not out yet, and some people have seen it at theirs. So I guess check back if it's not there, but I may or may not have some stuff to show you guys here pretty soon. But yeah, no, I'm excited for the Christmas stuff for sure. And then, this was a very, very successful and happy day. Then, after getting some fun Christmas stuff from Michael's, I went across the street to Trader Joe's, and wouldn't you know, my Trader Joe's had finally put out all their pumpkin stuff, which is actually, now that I'm saying it out loud, is quite hilarious. That it was like, yay, I found Christmas stuff at Michael's, and then yay, immediately after that I found pumpkin stuff out at Trader Joe's. It's just... Is it kind of unreal that places are putting out their Christmas stuff this early in the year? I feel like it kind of is. It doesn't make me mad the same way. I know it makes a lot of people mad, but I mean, I understand it too, where it just feels like it's mid-September and Christmas has fully taken over some of these stores already. But no, I've always been a sucker for the pumpkin stuff from Trader Joe's. Their pumpkin bars, which are, they have these cereal bars that are basically Nutri-Grain bar knockoffs at Trader Joe's that it's called This Blank Walks Into a Bar. And whatever fruit flavor it is what's filled in there. So this blueberry walks into a bar, this strawberry walks into a bar, and in the fall they have this pumpkin walks into a bar. I was a huge fan of these even before I had kids, but now that I have kids, they're obsessed with the pumpkin bars. And so what I end up doing is buying a ton of them. And because they can be good for a really long time. Check your expiration dates. They can be good for a long time. I haven't tried freezing them. I should. But I'll buy a bunch and buy ahead for, sorry, I just was checking something on my notes because I was like, wait, did I forget to mention this thing? No. It's later. It's fine. I stock up, that way we have them for longer because pumpkin season at Trader Joe's is only, for a month and a half or so, and they kind of do the same thing that even regular retail stores do, where at a certain point they stop restocking it, and it's kind of just like, well, when it sells out, it sells out. It doesn't seem like they have an outrageous amount of pumpkin stuff, at least not yet, not when I was in there. In past years, like there was one year in particular where I remember the cashier telling me that they had like 35 pumpkin items that year, and some of it was a little ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie, some of it was a little, is this really necessary though? I'm trying to think of a good example. I think they may have had like a pumpkin salsa one year, and I thought, I don't know. Pumpkin butter though, oh my gosh, pumpkin butter is so good. I guess I'm a little hungry. But I'm happy for pumpkin season at Trader Joe's. I would be even happier if it like cooled off enough that it felt like fall. Granted, at least the past couple of days, it has finally cooled off. That crazy heat wave here is broken. We've been really fortunate to not be affected by the fires, aside from like really, really poor air quality a couple of days, where we like didn't want to go outside. And they even like at the kids' school, they didn't have the kids going outside either, for things like, normally they do lunch outside, like in a covered pavilion, and obviously outside recess and stuff. And they did like indoor lunch and recess a couple of days because the air quality was just really bad. It was like you walked outside. Oh, I just smeared that everywhere. Let's grab a different, let me rewrite that one. you walk outside and it kind of feels like your eyes are burning just being out in it, and your lungs kind of burn a little bit too. And you could really see it was just a really heavy gray haze in the sky and everything. So Connor was really bummed. My oldest was bummed. He's quite the little fish right now. loves swimming. It's warm enough in Southern California that we can still swim this time of year. September is actually our hottest month of the year, and the heat really stays through the end of October. And so Connor's just been loving still swimming, including after school some days. And he was all set to go swimming after school a week ago, Monday. And was really bummed when he came home and we had to say, buddy, it's just, the air is so bad out there. We really shouldn't go out and swim, this afternoon. But we'll try tomorrow. We'll try tomorrow if the air is better. But it was really, really nice. I think it was maybe Wednesday or Thursday morning, like waking up and going outside to take the kids to school, and the heat had finally broken. We were in triple digits. It had gotten up to like 107, 108 for a couple of days, and it woke up and it was like 75 when I walked outside, and it was like, oh, it's cool outside. There's a little taste of fall, and it's just absolutely glorious. So that was really, really refreshing. And it's like this past week has been really nice and cool. Today we had gone to go swimming, and we were like, it's almost a little bit too cold to even go swimming. It's that big of a difference, but I'm ready for it. The heat and I do not get along, and so I just feel like my core temperature has been hot for a couple months now, and it's gonna be so nice to be cooler. I just feel like I'm more patient. I'm nicer. I like my clothing options a lot better for cool weather than I do warm weather. So, please bring on fall. Please bring on fall. I would really like to have fall weather. But I did also, did I say out loud, as far as like the fires go, while we haven't been affected, if you or your loved ones have been affected by the fires out here, you are very, very much in my thoughts, and I really, really hope that you are safe and that, your loved ones and your belongings and everything are really, really safe. I haven't checked recently to see an update on if they've got everything contained and under control, but I really, really hope they do. It's scary. So yes, just wanted to mention that my thoughts are with you. I've had a usual kind of week of ups and downs. I've gotten some emails taken care of. At one point I sat down and I had over 100 emails that I just needed to not just read, but also respond to most of them. And so I sat down one evening and it was mostly drills and trills related stuff. Not a complaint, just a statement. I just needed to go through and respond to all those and make sure I was logging everything, because technology has been rough. The forms like to enter for drills and chills, sometimes uploading a picture doesn't exactly work super well, and so apologies if you were one of those that was having trouble with it. I'm sorry. I have done some extensive research last year, especially. I did a ton of research trying to figure out an alternative option to using Google Forms to enter for drills and chills. Like, I was trying to find another kind of form that you could use to enter for the event, where you could get us both your information as well as upload, pictures. And everything else that I was finding at the time was either more complicated than a Google form. Like, you still had to create an account, and there were multiple steps. And or it cost a lot of money. And, it's, yeah, YouTube, way out of my price range, for anything I might make for my YouTube channel. So, unfortunately, even though Google Forms it doesn't work perfectly for everybody, and it can be kind of a pain in some ways. Like, if you don't already have a Google account, it just seems to be the best option for the moment, given all the factors that we're trying to take into account. And the thought also was that if you have a YouTube account to comment on videos to enter for weekly prizes, that means that you have a Google account that you can enter for, that you can use to log in for the form. Why you're required? Because I actually told my husband didn't realize this when I was trying to explain this to him and ask if he had any other ideas. He's like, why do you have it turned on that people have to log in to even fill out the form? And I said, it's a requirement on Google's part. I know this is super boring. I'm so sorry if you're like, Katie, for real. But no, I want to explain. If your form is having people submit photos, it requires them to log into their account because it's a spam prevention thing. Otherwise, it would be very easy for a bot or whatever to spam upload a bunch of junk pictures and fill up your storage, or upload something that's like not safe or something like that. And so as soon as I heard and read that, I was like, oh, okay, it all makes sense. So and I mean, the reason we really had to add that, like do a form instead of just like enter on Facebook, is, well, one, a ton of people don't use Facebook, and two, last year we did use Facebook for start photos, and it like, there were so many comments, it like broke the thread. We couldn't get back far enough to like load comments and like verify things. So it was like, oh, okay, so the event's just big enough that we have to do this a little bit different. So all this to say, is it the most elegant solution? Absolutely not. It is a mess in a lot of ways, and I fully own and understand the frustrations that come with that. And I will continue to do some research on, if we do this again next year, what are some other ways we can hopefully streamline and make things a little bit easier and a little bit better. But the whole point of this, like what got me on that sidetrack, was that I caught up on all my emails for like one day. I had like 100 to get through, and I did. And I'm going to try to stay relatively on top of it. That was just from a few days worth of stuff, but I had taken a few days off from responding to emails, and it just got backed up, and I was like, I got to catch up on this, or it's going to get away from me. So I'm trying to get into better rhythms with things and having some success, which is good. And I'm using my Finch app still. This is an app that I started talking about like a month ago. I just hit like a 35-day streak or something. It's continuing to help me with sort of not only self-care, but trying to, get some more habits and routines in place. And so I'm a big fan. I feel like, what's Finch? It's basically Tamagotchi for adults. And the purpose is self-care. I literally have goals on there. Like, I get to check the box for get out of bed. I get to check a box. Like, you set up your own goals. I have things like I stepped outside, or I messaged a friend, things like that, just to, I don't know, help me form some good self-care routines and stuff. You just pick out like cute outfits and cute little like furniture and settings for your little bird, and it's just way too fun. So anyway, and then I also was supposed to actually see a friend in person last night, Saturday night. We've been trying to get together for a while. This is kind of how it goes with us, and we know it, and there's no hard feelings. We just keep commenting like, I guess this is just the life stage that we're in right now. But local friend, dear friend of ours, and we had been trying to get together for a while, and our husbands were getting together Saturday night to do board games because they were overdue to get to hang out too. We used to hang out like at least once a week with this couple before we had kids, and life happens, and that's okay. But anyway, so Adam and Dave were getting together for a game night, and then Rachel was like, hey, do you want to, if the guys are going to go play at your house, why don't you come over here and we'll do a girls' night? She's like, you can even bring your diamond painting stuff if you want, and we can just like craft side by side. She's really into quilting right now. And so she was like, you can bring your diamond painting and I'll quilt, and we can just craft and chat, beside each other. It's like, that sounds lovely. I'm so in. I'm so excited to get to see you. And then there must have been something in the air, quite literally, because Saturday, both of us, like about halfway through the day, were like, I'm starting to get a migraine coming on. I'm wondering if it had to do with the big change in temperature and weather. if that just kind of triggered something for both of us. She gets migraines even more often than I do, and I feel so bad. But so ultimately, we ended up having to cancel, and really bummed. We're like, okay, we'll try for next Friday. So fingers crossed, next Friday ends up working out. But David still came over here, and he and Adam were playing board games, and I had been like, oh, you guys use the kitchen table, which is the one space we have for things like hobbies, like board games and diamond painting. And so I thought, well, they're going to be at the table, and they're kind of going to be using most of it. I'm just not going to have space to work on my diamond painting there. Sorry about the yawn. How did I do that right? Oh, yes, 27. And so I thought, what can I do instead? And then, did I talk about this last week that I started to go a little bit on a video game kick again? I thought, you know what I could do? I could go ahead and start Mass Effect Legendary Edition. So, yes, Mass Effect is one of my favorite game franchises of all time. Adam and I were looking up the dates the other day for it, and the first game came out in like 2007 or 2008. The second game came out I think in 2010 or something like that. And then the third game, I don't remember exactly when that came out. It was after we were married. But it's just my favorite series. It's in my top like 1 to 2 to 3. It depends on the day. Right now it's got the top spot. But I had been just on this complete binge of various like Mass Effect video essays and like commentaries and stuff on YouTube, and thought, I could go ahead and start a replay through. And I was trying to think back to how long ago was it that I was playing these games. And I played Mass Effect Andromeda, which we pretend like it doesn't exist. When that came out, I think that was 2017, which was after my oldest was born, but before my youngest. Yeah, because I haven't played Mass Effect since my youngest was born, and he's 6. So I think I played Andromeda, but then I don't remember if I played the original trilogy at all after my oldest was born. So I was like, it's been at least 6 to 7 years since I played these games, which is really fun because I think that's going to make it feel really fresh and new to me. And so we had bought the Legendary Edition, which comes with like all the DLC and everything. We had bought that on a Black Friday deal a few years back, where we were just like, oh, then we can have it on like our current, gen console, instead of having to like boot up, the 360 discs or whatever, and I'll have all the DLC included, so we don't have to. There was some weird stuff you had to do to sync it over between games and stuff, but so we had this that we had got on sale forever ago, and I booted it up and I played last night. I played for a few hours. At one point, the guys had finished their board game and they just came over and sat in the living room with me, and we're just watching because they're video game buffs too, not just board game buffs. And I played for a few hours, and it was very, very fun. I was like, oh, I missed gaming. So I don't know, like it's always a little hard to figure out how I want to divide my time between hobbies and stuff. It's like I'm still feeling the itch, like I want to go boot it up and play it again after this, but I'm also like, if I get too much into the video game side of things, I'm afraid I'm going to lose momentum, especially on like my cross-stitch conversion project. So we'll see. I'm going to try to pace myself, but I just thought, oh yeah, like I still love this franchise, and getting to replay it and like the whole like remaster and everything was really fun. And yeah, it's interesting because diamond painting is my favorite hobby, but it's really, I don't know if any other sort of content creators feel this. It's weird because it kind of crosses over into like, because for some people, like YouTube can feel like work, and I hesitate to put it that way because I feel like that has implications that I don't want to give it. That makes it feel like it's something I don't want to do, or that I'm obligated to do, or that I'm like not doing it from a place of sincerity or something. So, and that's not at all what I feel or what I mean when it comes to diamond painting. But it makes it weird to try to balance, because sometimes I feel like, well, I really do want to work on this thing. Like, for example, I would be lying if I said that part of my motivation of working on this particular kit that I'm kitting up right now is because I want to be able to tell you guys what my experience is of working with Make Market square drills. If I didn't have a YouTube channel, would I still be working on this kit? I mean, probably, actually, because I would personally be curious, like, okay, what are the squares like, though? Am I going to like them? Am I going to want to get more if they continue to have artwork that I like that comes in squares? So maybe that's not the best example, but I guess it's maybe a good example of how the lines can get a little bit blurred, and it's not exactly like super cut and dry sometimes. And so all that to say, it can feel hard to figure out, like, how do I want to divide my time? What do I want to do? And then also just like, life in general. I think that video games, it's a little bit tricky because especially something like Mass Effect, I feel like my kids are still an age where I don't necessarily even want to be like playing shooters in front of them. Even though it's not like really a violent game, but there are you're shooting pew-pews, and I don't know what the platform, like what it automatically will pick up as far as words go and what it's thinking. It's a video game. It's a video game platform. But I don't know. It's like I don't want to actively be playing that in front of them. And frankly, when my kids are awake, like they're keeping me plenty busy. I don't exactly have spare time to be like gaming while they're around. I can play while they're at school, or I can play while they're asleep. So that's also what my diamond painting time is either primarily when they're at school or when they're asleep. And at the same time I can film videos. I used to be able to do a lot more diamond painting while they were awake, but the phase of life they just have been in, of course my kids are always going to come first. But I just remember a couple of years ago, I just used to be able to do a lot more diamond painting. Even when they were around, they were just more chill to just play and hang out. Like they didn't even necessarily always want me to be playing right with them. And now it just looks a little bit different. So I don't know where exactly I'm going with this, like rambling hot mess of a run-on topic, but I guess what I'm saying is I would love to start gaming again. But I don't know. I'm just curious to see how it'll work out as far as balancing it all goes. We're down to the last two colors. Oh, this will be good timing. We're coming up on the end of my WIP and Chat. Perfect. So, as far as just quick, like little family updates, we're just continuing to plug away with kind of the same old. Adam's trying to drum up stuff with job stuff, and the boys are doing great with school. I got to email Connor's teacher the other day. I had a couple of questions for her. I wanted to touch base and also to introduce myself and be like, hi, like I meant to introduce myself. Sorry we couldn't make it to back to school night. I just wanted to say hi and let you know, like Connor is just absolutely loving being in your class this year. And I like to think that teachers, just from what I've heard teachers say and having briefly been in sort of the shoes of a teacher myself, my degree is actually in music education, and it's a whole long story I'm not going to get into now because I'm at the end of my WIP and Chat. But long story short, I moved across the country and lost all of my professional networking contacts, and also moved right at the time when all of the extras were being cut, including music. So I didn't find a job. And then once the market started coming back, I was having kids and decided to be a stay-at-home mom. So, but my understanding, just from my limited perspective as a teacher and having teacher friends and whatnot, is that they do like to hear when kids are enjoying their class or there's something positive to share. And so I did want to let her know, like, Connor is loving being in your class, and I can't tell you how much it really does mean to us as parents, how big of a difference it makes knowing that he's in a space where he feels confident and comfortable, especially right from the get-go. And she had just really sweet things to say about him when she responded, which just made my heart so happy. It just made me feel like, okay, this is a really, really good fit this year. And my gosh, I am so thankful that it worked out this way. And I hope it continues to be a good year. But yeah, Connor's doing well. And Micah, I love Micah's teacher too. I just feel like we are so dang lucky this year. I love Micah's teacher, and he's still really loving going to school. Though actually, he did have a couple of rough mornings this past week where he just was just having a tough time. I think he's just kind of adjusting sort of his sleep schedule and rhythm. to the new being back in the school routine and stuff. But they're doing great. We're still squeezing in lots of swimming time. They're both loving it and getting more comfortable. We've like reached the phase where I don't necessarily have to be in the water with them. I'm watching Micah like a hawk, but because he's not really truly swimming the way that Connor is, and I'm right there. I'm not like on my phone or whatever. But I'm like, oh, I remember when my brother and I were kids, and we got to a point where like my mom was able to do this a little bit. Like we would go and we'd spend hours at the pool every day in the summer, and we got to a point where she could just kind of kick back with a book. And so it's like, I love that my kids are getting more independent. There's of course a little bit of bittersweet with that too, where it's like they're getting older, but you know, it's a phase of life. I'm finding a lot of things that I'm really enjoying about, and that's been really good. So, as far as my updates on what I'm reading and watching and listening to, I just got a co-opt my reading category for gaming again, and saying like I've started Mass Effect 1 last night, and I got through kind of the whole first portion of the game, just where like, you know, you recruit some of your key squad members, and then, you know, out Sarah into the alliance, alliance and stuff. So that's about how far I got in that one. Go back and do some side quests next. And then watching, I have still been down this rabbit hole of like video essays. A lot of stuff on like Mass Effect, and a bunch on like people in the past couple of years posting videos on Mass Effect Andromeda, sort of like retrospectives, and be like, was it really that bad though? You know, a few years later, and interestingly, the consensus being it's not as bad as people made it out to be, but it wasn't exactly like really good either. So anyway, it's just been really fun. I'm reading like really crazy conspiracy theories that people had about the original game and whatnot. I don't know. I find that kind of thing really fascinating. And I did end up then on a, because what's kind of like what's the name of the YouTuber that there's more kind of active drama with update? Oh, Gabby Hanna. I kind of caught up on all the Gabby Hanna related drama. I don't know. It's like, I don't know why it's so interesting to watch. It's sort of like, I think from almost a psychological standpoint, to be like, what makes people behave this way? What makes people that have these giant audiences and platforms sort of get to this point? It's really fascinating to me in kind of a morbid way, but that's what I've been doing watching wise. And then listening to, weirdly, I've been listening to not just those like video essays and stuff, but also Adam started watching Suits for the first time, and I've been listening a little bit to that in the background, like when I am not necessarily in the mood to watch like one of my shows. I'm like, Adam's watching Suits. Let me listen to this in the background, because it's such a fun show. I didn't make it all the way through. There's a couple of actors that leave.
Are you talking about Suits?
Yes. Scared the crap out of me. I didn't realize you took your headphones off. There's a couple actors that leave, like, it's in the last couple of seasons that I couldn't get into it after they left. But, so I've been listening to that, and Adam's enjoying it. I'm at the end of my WIP and Chat, so.
I was looking at your timer.
Yeah, no, I'm at the end. So, you still enjoying it?
I am, yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm in season 2, having a good time.
I'm gonna see if he makes it farther than I did, or if he gives up when I do. But
did you start commenting and I giggled at something?
No, that was it was on my list of like, I take little notes.
Okay.
I have a little segment at the end of my WIP and Chat that's like what I was reading and watching and listening to.
Has people seen your notes?
No. Here's an example of my notes. So.
A little behind the scenes action.
Yeah. Well, because I'm so forgetful. Adam was cracking up earlier because he was like, what are you listening to? And I was like, that's so embarrassing. This is literally how terrible my memory is. I was listening back to my Patreon vlog for last week, which those go up on Fridays, and I do these little clips throughout the week, and I literally sometimes I feel like I can't remember what happened during the week, and so I'll go back before I do these WIP and Chats, so I'm kind of taking notes about what did happen, what do I want to talk about, and I'll rewatch my Patreon vlogs, and I'll just kind of skip through and be like, well, what happened this day again? What happened this week? And so I just jot down like, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, how did I forget that happened? But okay, here we go. My memory.
What happened to me?
It's like
how did I get here?
At least I have it documented. Like, it's not just crazy. Like, this was one of the things that came up when we were I was doing my assessments for autism. Like, I legitimately have major memory issues, but it's so frustrating, actually. But
now that makes me sound like a bully.
No. You're not a bully. It's fine. I'm making fun of myself too because I think it's ridiculous that I can't remember what happened in the last week and I have to go watch my own vlogs where I was literally talking a week ago. Anyway.
It was the way you explained it to me that was making me laugh more than anything.
That's fair.
I thought you were listening to your old ones. I was curious because I don't usually hear you do that. So
Yeah.
I was like, why is she listening back? She hasn't recorded anything yet.
Yeah. I was like, oh, no, that's what it is. So anyway, now you know. Now you know, you guys. Does anyone else have a bad memory like me? Anyway, what I've got coming this week for you video-wise, if you didn't look at my notes a minute ago, I have some unboxings. I have a post review I think I want to do. And then, of course, Drills and Chills Week 3 will be on Saturday, possibly Sunday if there's some kind of delay that comes up. But anyway, we're all kitted up. We have all of our pretty colors. Look at all those pastels, all the greens and blues. Let me ask Adam. Adam, when you see this artwork, does this... Ooh, I just hit my camera really bad. When you see this artwork, Adam, does this make you think of anything in particular right away? This artwork.
Wicked?
Yes! See? He gets the vibes too. So, anyway.
Are people not?
No. I just was curious,
Okay.
like, if you would also see it right away too.
Of course.
That's one of the reasons I picked out this kit.
Of course.
We actually have tickets for Wicked that we had bought forever ago.
When is that?
When is that?
We should probably find that out.
Yeah, I think it's this month. So anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. If you made it all the way to the end, how about a witch emoji in honor of our alphabet-ish witch? And let me know how you're doing. Thanks for letting Adam come in and crash the end of my WIP and Chat. If you didn't get enough of him on my Drills and Chills video on Saturday. Yeah, so thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you have a day and a week that's as amazing as you are, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.